Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin, wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi rasulillahi ajmain. Amma ba'du. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. The Honorable Mr. Nuardi, MED, as a lecturer in Research and Development in ALT. My name is Nabila Adinda Wulandari. I am from Class 5A English Education Department. Today, I will presentation my thesis with the title, The Correlation of Students' Vocabulary Mastery with the Speaking Ability of Students at State Senior High School 2 Pangkalan Kerinci. The first is background of the problem. According to Simaibang in 2060 in page 85, learners need to employ vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, intonation, and organization of content of speech at the same time in speaking skill. It is obvious that understanding vocabulary is very important part in learning a language. English vocabulary is extremely large and varies as well. Therefore, it is highly essential for students to master vocabulary in order to able to speak by using the target language they learned. Vocabulary mastery is the activity of mastering or the ability to understanding and use words contained in the language, both oral and written. According to Nunan in 2003, stated that speaking skill is productive skill that involve oral language by producing a system for expressing verbal meanings. Speaking skill is the ability to say word or sentence to express and convey feelings, ideas to someone. Next is phenomena. The phenomena in this study is there are still many students at State Senior High School 2 Pangkalan Kerinci who have difficulty speaking due to the lack of vocabulary mastery. The identification of the problem in this study is, the first is, what are the problems that make students find it difficult to master vocabulary? The second is, what are the problems that make students find it difficult to speak English? And the last is, how important is vocabulary mastery to student speaking ability? The limitation of the problem. In this study, the author focused on the correlation between vocabulary mastery and student speaking ability at Senior High School 2 Pangkalan Kerinci. Next is formulation of the problem. The first is, how important is vocabulary mastery for students at State Senior High School 2 Pangkalan Kerinci? The second is, how important is speaking ability for students at State Senior High School 2 Pangkalan Kerinci? And the last is there are correlation between vocabulary mastery and speaking skill at State Senior High School 2 Pangkalan Kerinci. Next is objective of the research. The purpose of this study was to find a relationship between vocabulary mastery and speaking ability, especially for students at State Senior High School 2 Pangkalan Kerinci. The operational concept in the study is, the researchers use the correlational design, where procedures in quantitative research in which investigators measure the degree of association or relation between two or more variables using the statistical procedure of correlational analysis. The focus in this research is the relationship between student vocabulary mastery and student speaking ability. The study uses a correlation research method because this research method shows a relationship or influence. The researchers wanted to investigate the relationship between student vocabulary mastery and student speaking ability. Next is method of the research. The research design in the study is quantitative approach with the correlation method. The location at State Senior High School 2 Pangkalan Kerinci. Time is from September to November 2021. The subject is 10th grade student at State Senior High School 2 Pangkalan Kerinci for the academic year 2021 to 2022. The subject is the correlational between vocabulary mastery and their speaking ability. The population and sample. According to Creswell in 2012, stated that a population was a group of individuals who have the same characteristic. The population in this study is grade 10 student at State Senior High School to Pangkalan Kerinci, which has 10 classes and consists of 5 social studies classes and 5 science classes, and each class has 30 students. Sampling in the study using simple random sampling method. According to Kerlinger in 2006, in page 188, simple random sampling is a method of drawing from a population or universe in a certain way so that every member of the population or universe has an equal chance of being selected or taken. The sample in this study were students of Class 1 Social Studies 4 and Class 1 Social Science 5, which each class has 30 students. So the total sample in the study was 60 students. Next is technique of data collection. The author uses a questionnaire test as the first research technique. According to Creswell in 2012 states that researchers can ask some closed questions and some are open. In this study, the researchers used a closed question. The question contained 20 questions related to the relationship between vocabulary mastery and speaking ability in students. After collecting the data from questionnaire, the researchers did an interview to get the deeper information and to gather the data from the participants in their own words. According Walcott in 1994, in page 364, interview which aimed for concrete and complex illustration and thus provided the student with opportunities to talk about their experience in their own words. For the interview, the writer used the free interview. The free interview do not need to prepare an answer, but respondents are free to express their opinion. It provides for both researchers and the participants to discuss more for. And the last is technique of data analysis. Data analysis in this study used descriptive statistical technique. Descriptive statistic function to describe or provide an overview of the object under study doc sample or population data. According to Kuswanto in 2012, the data presented in descriptive statistics are usually in the form of data concentration measures. Okay, I think that's all. Thanks for attention and sorry for my weakness. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.